Oh my goodness. I hope my Wi-Fi is working. Yes, okay, it's good. Okay, folks, here it is. We're back. This is Mary, and my co-host today is actually Katie Detlaff from what company? You want to introduce yourself, Katie?
I'm from Top Flight PDR, and I'm here in Myrtle Beach, and we have survived the tornado, or not tornado, the tropical
The
storm.
hurricane.
Hurricane.
Is it a
Yes,
hurricane?
yes. So we are all good.
Oh, good. So you guys don't have any school or anything like that, right?
No, not today. So it was my first time e-learning because Ella was homeschooled for the last 4 years. So today was like we could call it a homeschool day, but it was looked a little different for us because she had to log online,
Mhm.
do work. Yeah,
Okay.
it was totally different.
Okay, folks. For those of you who doesn't know what's going on, I'm actually trying to kill two birds in one stone. So I need to drop an episode on my other podcast. So I figured I'll go ahead do two at the same time. With PDR interview and also Mary Unapologetic. So normally I keep the episode or the topics different, but because I've been so busy, I figured I'll just do all at once. You know what I mean? Because the topics we're gonna cover anyway is like something important that everyone should know. Because I'm noticing that scammers are getting very very sophisticated now. So let's go ahead and start. And before we start, of course, my music. Can you hear it, Katie?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. This somehow the music just like changed my mood, like affects my mood in a good way. It
Oh,
makes
I
me
love
like,
it.
yeah, it makes me happy or something.
I need to wake up to that in the morning.
What?
We need that to be our alarm in the morning.
uh, okay, actually, I'm gonna just stop that now. I'm gonna just let you know that I'm feeling the heat right now where I'm at. It's so hot. It's been so hot here. It's been like 100, and we're not used to that. I don't know in your area. How hot is it in your area right now?
Well, because the I call it the hurricane, but in all reality, tropical storm because
Mhm.
it got downgraded, came through. It's actually cool, but we've been having like it would be like 90, but the heat index would be like 105, 110, 112 because of the heat index, with the humidity and everything. So yeah, I can
Wow.
completely understand, and especially like going through menopause. Oh yeah, times 10. It's hot. Yes.
Hey, I can relate with you about that.
Mhm. Girl, it's just hot. Like we need fans.
Before we start, I know some of the friends that we have in the industry are going to the MTE in Las Vegas.
Hmm.
And as I said in the past, or I think our last podcast, Mike and I are not going because we're so busy. We're juggling with multiple stuff. And we're just trying to, I don't know. I think it seems like everyone's busy this year. You know what I mean? So maybe it's something in the air, or I don't know. Maybe it's this year, right? So,
I,
but I know, I
mm,
think it's Marissa. She's going. Who
mhm.
else do you know going? Sally, right?
Sally's going.
Okay.
I know that I think I don't know if Ryan and Rachel are going.
Uh huh.
Obviously, the birds are going.
The
Uh,
birds are going.
yes. Um,
Okay.
who else is going? I am not because my other kind of like little claim to fame is I'm a high school swim coach and
Mm-hmm.
it is high school swim season. We are in full force. We would have had a meet yesterday, but because of the hurricane, it got postponed till the 13th, and we have a meet this Saturday at Coastal Carolina. So yeah, we are, you know,
Mm-hmm.
will not be there, and Dave is not going because he's busy too as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's been a
well,
good year for everyone, especially the hail season.
absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is absolutely. I mean, we especially also you guys, you have a shop and we're getting cars. Oh, we were in so and so on vacation and we have hail damage.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't even have to have a hailstorm here. We were getting hail cars left and
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Crazy.
that's gonna happen, especially if there's an influx of cars that are got hit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So today, let's share to some of the folks that are listening. Actually, somebody said hi.
Hi.
Once again, I don't know who it is. It just said Facebook user. So, but anyway, we decided to do this topic. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Beware of scammers, because something happened to me, Mike, and I'm like, I think it's becoming more and more out there, especially they're targeting the elderly, right? But then back in the old days, or back a few years ago, they target the elderly more. But I think they're getting bold and bold, and they're very like organized, that they're targeting just any Americans I mean, for some reason we have this, I guess, this spotlight saying, hey, target the Americans, because it's so easy with the technology now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. I was speaking of that, and I'll share my little story. I was at the soccer field last Wednesday, Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
and I get this phone call. I'm like, I, answer it. Hey, and they're like, hey, this is so and so from Bank of America, badge number, blah, whatever the badge number was, and they're like, we see fraud on your account, and I was like, okay, and they had said it was from one of the airlines for
Mm-hmm.
$4,000, and
Mm-hmm.
then another one for like another 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, and they're like, we're gonna send you out a new card. And they even knew my address.
No, are you serious?
Yes, they knew
So,
my address.
so you would think that they are legitimate, people from the bank, because they know certain information about you.
Yes. And then when he read my address, it went silent for a minute. And I said, I just had this inclination to hang up.
Uh-huh.
And then um, I called the bank, and in the time span of me being on the bank, they called, like, I want to say over 17 times, like legitimate 17 times. Like, I have it on my call log. They wouldn't stop calling me back. It's because they thought they got me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, the first inclination to me was, before we go any further, they had my address. I was like, let me just call the bank.
Mm-hmm.
And the bank's like, we'll never call you. Normally we send a text,
Mm-hmm.
or an email or something to say that, hey, this is a fraud alert.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, literally had gotten me to the point, if he would have asked for any more information, I would have given it to him, because he
That
knew exactly where I lived. I was like,
that's pretty scary, Katie.
I know. Like, when he said, your address is 2576 Great Scott Drive, I'm like, but something, I don't know what that something was, said,
Mm-hmm.
hey, call the bank.
Mm-hmm.
So I called.
Yeah, they're getting really, really savvy as far as talking to you, and then I think there's a delay with your Wi-Fi.
it, it, it,
Did you
it's
notice that?
Yeah, I did. And it could be because we're still having some winds from,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
unfortunately, that storm. It's hurricane season over here. You never know. We don't have snow days, we have hurricane days.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, what I was gonna say is that they're getting really savvy to a point that, oh my gosh, I didn't hear you.
No, I was just shaking my head. I was listening.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you said something. Okay. So anyway, what I was gonna say is that they're getting really savvy to a point that they know just about a certain information about you, but not all, but just a little bit of certain information, and then they use it against you. You know what I mean? And that right there, I think, is called social engineering. Oh, hi, Zach. Zach is just. Somebody said just had a customer from 4 months ago try and reprint one of our checks and pass it through the account for over $1,500. Can you see that, Katie?
Yeah.
Hi, Zach.
Oh my gosh, Zach, that's horrible.
What? And that was 4 months ago. 4 months ago, and try to reprint one of our checks and pass it through their account for over 1,500. That is so horrible. Oh
That
my gosh.
that's
That is
oh,
so horrible. Oh, hi, Jayma from Taiwan.
oh wow.
Yeah, he said good morning, ladies. Can you see it, Katie, on your end
Yeah,
or not?
yes, good evening from Myrtle Beach.
And Zach said hi, hey,
Hi
or
Zach.
hi.
Hi Zach.
Yeah. So I was, I'm observing this and I'm watching it, right? So they're getting savvy to a point that now what they want you to do is that they say, hey, we need you to actually go online. Okay, Zach said, my wife loves you, by the way, Mary. Oh, thank you,
Uh,
Zach. Thank
I
you.
have a little co-host tonight before she goes to bed.
Oh, your daughter?
Yes, this is Ella.
Oh, hi, Ella.
Hi. She's my
Oh, she's pretty.
yes. She looks like her dad. Although I claim her. She's mine. This is her first year at school. Because I've homeschooled her for the last 4 years. So
Uh-huh.
she is actually getting ready to go up and go to bed and came in to say goodnight to me. And
Oh, how sweet. They grow so fast. My two older ones are both in college, and I'm kind of like figuring it out, refocusing my attention to something else now.
to Mike, right?
Um, like little Gabby, and
Yeah.
then the business. I'm like full on there now because we're trying to juggle with like three or four. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, so what I was gonna say is that so I've heard from some of the people that they get a phone call, and then you know what they use, Katie?
Hmm.
They use social engineering. So I don't know if you know what that means. I can explain
No,
it to you.
yeah, absolutely. Explain because I don't know what it means, but yeah, explain to
Okay. Social engineering is in order for you to motivate someone or convince someone to do what you want them to do, they tap into your fear. You know what I mean? Like there's an emergency. Tap into your fear, and then it's an emergency, and they want you to react right away. And so therefore they kind of like add some kind of a time constraint with it. It's like some of this elderly that's being what do you call this, taken advantage on or
like
manipulated. Some of them have given $800,000 on some of these scammers, and then when they got interviewed, basically they're saying that they got a phone call and basically said, hey, so and so granddaughter or grandkid's going to go to jail. And they even got to a point that they had the grandma talk to someone pretending to be an attorney, that the attorney said to the grandma, hey, I'm gonna take care of your granddaughter, and don't worry, but we need the money to bail her out so that way she doesn't go to jail. And then I think the instruction was someone's gonna knock on your door like a courier or something like that to collect the money. Or that's one way to do it. And then or another way would be like they actually send you a message saying, hey, by the way, your bank account, whether it's your savings or checking account, is compromised. We need to transfer the money from one account to, let's say, like a more secure account from the bank, supposedly. Right
mhm.
there should have been a clue, you know what I mean? And then so these people, they didn't have time to think, to reflect, to react, because they're worried that, hey, by the way, $200,000 of your account, of your money from your account is being transferred now. Let's stop it. So obviously they're going to instruct these people to go online and kind of coach them how to do it. So when in reality, some of the people that they're talking to, it's not even here, it's overseas. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's horrible.
Mhm. And it's like with me, I just had this inclination to stop
Hmm.
my bank, and I feel that if this is the case, maybe one of the biggest things they can do is maybe stop and call the bank, or if it is a scam or for somebody that, like, you know, in their family has been, you know,
Hmm.
name it, been arrested, um, ca- reach out to someone else that might be able to say, hey, no, that's not the case before they start. You know,
Hmm.
my dad, when he was alive, he got one and he was already ready to give out the information and everything else. And I'm like, Dad, you always pay your bills on time. You're not being scam. You're being scammed.
Hmm.
It's not a you thing.
Hmm.
So yeah.
So I figured, let's cover this topic today because I think our older generation, they're being targeted. So like with my mom, I mean, even if they call my mom's not gonna have anything to give them. But there are folks out there that they have retirement money, so we need to like have a conversation with them, give them like some kind of a heads up. If somebody calls you, don't even entertain it, just hang up and then call whoever, your relative that they're referring to that's in trouble or something. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Yeah, because I feel bad for some of these people. This is like their whole retirement funds that are like gone, or either that, like the money that they worked hard for.
Right. Absolutely. And with me, as I was going along, I was like, when they said, I can't remember what airline they said. It was one
Hmm.
of the um like Air Asia or something like that.
Hmm.
That was a little, red flag that kind of was like to me, hey. And then the bank said, no, banks will never call you. They will do a certain email, text you, you know, what have you. Um,
Hmm.
but if you get to that situation, and they're starting to say, hey, just hang up, call your,
Hmm.
because whatever, even if it was your bank, you're gonna end up getting, going through the process anyway. But
Hmm.
best thing you did was hang up and call your bank and found out that if it was true or not.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one way to. Yeah, that's one way to double check, Katie, to make sure that it's a legitimate phone call. You know what I mean, from the bank, because a lot of people, and the reason why I said that they're getting savvy too and very very sophisticated, because sometimes I get this call too, like what happened to you, and you look at the area code, it's the local area code, so you would think that they're here, but when in reality they're not even here, they're like somewhere else.
Right.
um and I don't know how they're able to get like a local area code number, you know what I mean, but somehow I don't know. I mean, I don't even know how to do that. Like if you're overseas and then getting a local number in some of these people's local area, it's just hard. I don't know how to, how the process works and how to do that. But it's like really like very very well thought of, I think.
It
So
is.
now here's the thing too. when because remember back in the old days, it started with the IRS. They said, hey, you owe money with the IRS, we want you to send money to us. And then there's like a time period of when you send the money and when they receive the money. Now it's just like in minutes, because with the technology that we have, you can transfer funds just like that. But then that's why I'm saying, and then there's no, I would say there's no way that you can hold these people accountable, because you don't even know who's behind this scam that's going on. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Because it's somewhere else. And then I think the best thing to do, this is what I always remind myself. But here's the thing: as we get older, I think we're more relaxed, and I would say more trusting, and we put our guard down. So
Mhm.
for me, I always remind myself, okay, you got something, because we're bombarded with texts every day. We're bombarded with phone calls every day. Not only that, we we own a business, so we call people and people return our call back. So you don't know which one's which. You need to cipher that out, right? So for
Mhm.
me, I make it a point that when I get a call and I don't know who it is, I need to like step back and like think things through. And before I even click or tap on the link, I really need to analyze it, just because I got compromise by doing that. But I'll tell you that story, folks, in a minute. But let's stay with this subject that when you guys get a call, let's say whether it's from the bank or let's say IRS or even something like a relative or something, I think the best thing to do is just hang up, don't even entertain it, and then just call
Mm.
the bank, call the IRS, call so and so, because I think for me, the longer you stay on this, the more they are able to convince you because they're capitalizing on your fear, and they are just so sophisticated in a way that they're so convincing. And the
Ab-
reason, go ahead, Katie.
No, I just said absolutely. I agree 100% because I was as soon as they said, and they'll and the amounts that they'll tell you, like
Hmm.
we'll say like I want to say $5,000 for
Yeah,
airline. Like that's a lot of money, especially if you rely on Social Security or any other type of income. That's a lot of money, and that's going to scare you to death to say, "Hey, $5,000 was taken out of my account. Wow!" And
yeah.
not able to look, or maybe they don't know how to use the technology. My dad especially, and I'll be honest, he didn't know how to use the technology that
Yeah.
we. He didn't do online banking.
We have a guest here. Well, not a guest. We have a listener said, "Yo, hello guys. Who could that be?"
I have no idea.
I don't know who it is either. But here's the thing, folks. I'm gonna share with you guys my experience.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know how we get all those texts, and because we run our business by our phone, using our phone, we send texts, we receive texts. So I get texts all the time. So somehow I got this text, and then they said, "Hey, we're having a sale." So I thought it's coming from a real store. As a matter of fact, I thought it was Coach. Oh no,
Oh wait,
actually, I
have
thought it was
we
Kate Spade, not
yeah.
Coach. I thought it was Kate Spade. So what I ended up doing is, because it said, "Hey, we're having 70% off." Well, sometimes they do have 70% off. So what I ended up doing is clicking on the link. Is that Dave? Hi,
Yeah.
Dave. Ah, okay.
We're getting there.
So what I ended up doing is clicking on the link. As soon as I click on the link, then I saw this screen that it looks like a website, like a landing page. Oh my gosh, they're so savvy that they even like fooled me, okay? Katie's keeps
I,
smiling.
I heard you
So
about hail money, and I started twitching like a junkie, and I think I'm gonna pack my suitcase and hit the road somewhere just because I heard hail money.
what?
He's he's just being funny. He's talking about hail money. We're not talking about hail money. We're talking about scams.
Oh.
uh,
Oh, he's. I love him.
uh, he thought it was like hail money. We're talking about like,
And
yeah.
yours is even through a link. Wow, that's
Yes, and it's so sophisticated that we create websites. So I should be able to like tell if it's like legitimate or not. But because it's so sophisticated, I couldn't tell. So once I click on the link, it took me to another screen. And then that one, I think it's a landing page where it said it's got the, Kate Spade logo. It looks like a real website. And then it said 70% off. And then it started showing all the purses that was 70% off. And I was like, I don't need purses right now, but birthdays and Christmas holidays coming. So I figured if I buy something now, then and I buy it on sale, then I'll save money, because I have a big family and that's what I do anyway. Or sometimes if it's a good deal, I just buy it and then just give it to relatives, right?
hmm
Because they can't afford it. And me, I can do a little bit of, like help. So I kind of help them. But anyway, so I click on it, put in my information, ordered 4 bags. I think it's 4 or 5 bags. And this was like, I sleep late because I do my work late at night, especially my paperwork,
hmm
especially if I have to read legal documents, I mean,
Oh, trust.
running a business, you would come across like legal documents. So I try to do it when everyone's asleep so I can think clearly. So
Mhm.
anyway, So it was like, I believe like 1 o'clock, and I'm really exhausted. So I'm like, okay, I just want to buy this, put in my credit card, da 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 da. So I paid for it. The following day, as I was like doing my errands and chores, I realized that I didn't get like a confirmation via email saying that, hey, this items are gonna be delivered on this day. So I'm like, that's kind of odd. But then I was like busy, like, I did my normal stuff. And then finally, it was like at night when I had a chance to look at my email. So I was doing a search query to find out when my purses are going to be delivered.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't find it. The ones that I'm finding was like from 5 or 6 years ago from Kate Spade, last time I ordered from them. I was like, that's kind of odd. So, and I'm good with research. So I put in all the things that I could think of, like keywords that would show up, because I get a lot of emails. I get probably like 50 emails a day. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? From
Yeah, absolutely.
vendors and stuff, right? And then so I did everything I could to find that email and I couldn't. Then I'm like, now I'm going like this. Let me check my credit card then online. So the particular credit card that I use to purchase the purses. So I went log in, and I noticed a charge that it's not familiar from a company that I'm like, it said like Farlow or something. I'm like, I don't know what that is. So I'm like, let me check on this.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, I don't remember ordering from anything from Farlow. So I go back to my email, do a search query about that name. Didn't show up anything. So I go on another screen to check the website, what it's about. Maybe it might, like ring a bell once I see the website, right? And it didn't. So I'm like, this doesn't look familiar. So I'm like, oh man, I got duped. I got, my credit card is compromised. So what I did is that I even like, went a step ahead and researched anything about that company's review.
Wow.
So I read something that, hey, that, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not looking good. So I had to call my bank right away and close my account, because I'm like, wow, the magnitude of that, Katie, I just cannot believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And the other thing is that, we all of us have money in our account to pay for whatever we're paying for, and then we have to switch, if we have direct, you know, if your bills are withdrawn out and everything else, and then you have to go figure that out, and you might miss a bill for a month, and so that might lower your credit because you didn't realize it came out of that account, or
Hmm.
ever. And it literally is, it's just hard, it's horrible. I mean, I can't think of it's horrible that, now wait, I forgot to pay a bill, and my credit is compromised because, my credit score, because I forgot that to pay that bill. And
Hmm.
it's not that I didn't have the money. It's I'm used to automatic this, that, and everything else. So
Okay, sorry, Katie. Somebody said, okay, got logged in on StreamYard. Um, we're still trying to figure out who you are. Sorry, folks. We'll see this after we're done, with our live podcast. That's when we see it. Okay, and here's another one. Scammers are too good. Now, I agree.
uh-huh. Yes.
Scammers are so sophisticated that even me, that I'm like very, like always like careful and always looking out for like little signs or red flags, they, I got like duped, and I'm not embarrassed about it because, like I said, they're very sophisticated to a point that you really have to like slow down to think things through sometimes before you act, because when you're not thinking things through, then that's when you end up making more mistakes, and that was, reflecting back, I was telling myself, Mary, that was so stupid. Why did you purchase it at night, not during the day when you're like more awake, right? Because it was like 1 a.m. I'm so tired, I'm like ready to go to bed, but I wanted to like just like purchase the purses before the discounts is gone. So yeah, so here's another listener. It's a whole business now. Yes.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. It's like they knew my address. Like, you knew my address, and you're going through my banking details, telling me you're going to send me a new card from Bank of America. And I'm like, you knew my address. Like, how could I not think that this was real?
I'm gonna share with you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are listening. I'm gonna share with you guys what happened to Mike. And it has something to do with the address too, Katie.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Mhm.
huh?
Tell us.
Okay. Hold on. Zach said that I think it's Larry Rodriguez that's trying to log in and we can't see. So Larry Rodriguez, he's from Texas. I hope I'm right. He's from Texas, and he's the one who is trying to log in, and we can't see his name. And then somebody said, Katie, somebody actually commented, didn't want them to know Zach, and then Zach just spilled the beans. This-
Oh
oh,
my goodness. We are on fire tonight.
oh my gosh. But here's the thing. Okay, so this is what happened. Okay. Luckily, folks, I know enough about legal stuff. Okay. I think it's from years and years of experience working for different companies.
Mhm.
Just to share my background, I used to work for this one company. Okay, I don't want to ignore Zach here. He said, laugh out loud, that's me. Just want to share that with you, Katie, because I know you can't see right now. But anyway, I am so thankful from years and years of experience working for different company. I used to work for this company that basically back in the old days, it was like mid 90s. What companies used to do is that if you like bounce a check,
Mhm.
companies didn't have the time to go after people that wrote a check that bounced to kind of like retrieve the money, right? So they would hire a third party to collect those money that was lost.
Mhm.
So they also had back in the old days, we also had like what do you call this, those people that collects money. You know what I'm talking about? I have a brain fog now.
Collection agency?
Yes, collection agency. Yes. So I used to work with, what I used to do was verify funds. If the check has funds, then we call back the people and say, hey, you still owe so and so money. So we're trying to collect money. And then we also have a department that would strictly just collect funds, like a collector. But here's the thing, being in that environment, I knew what it entails when you're around people and it's noisy and everyone's talking at the same time, blah, 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 blah. So, okay, so hold on, folks. Somebody commented, Chase is good for me. They watch my bank pretty well. Yes, I agree. I agree. Wells Fargo is good for me too, but Chase is really strict on that. And that's why I have Chase too. But so anyway, so what ended up happening is that I was still sleeping, folks. I think it was like 5:30 or 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. One morning, Mike woke me up. I was like, Mary, Mary. And I'm like, what? You know me. I'm like, when somebody's panicking, or somebody's like kind of like, like I guess emotional or something like that. I try to like, talk myself into like calm down, because so that way both of us are not going to be bananas. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So he was like trying to wake me up. It's like, Mary, Mary. I'm like, what? Okay, I just talked to this guy. This guy said I owe him money, and he's gonna take us. He's gonna take me to court. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I'll take care of it, because I was groggy. I'll take care of it. Once I'm fully awake, because what time is it? It's like 5:30. Why are you waking me up this early? Because Mike wakes up at like between 4 to 5. He sleeps early, but he also wakes up early. He gets his stuff done during the day before he starts
Right.
work at the shop. But anyway, so he woke me up. So I'm like, so I was like calm and collected and cool. And I'm like trying to like send a message. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it once it's an appropriate time, like maybe like 9 or 10 or something like that AM. And then so I thought, so he walked away from the bedroom. So I thought that I'm cool, I'm okay. But then I guess the more he started thinking about it, the more he's getting worried. And then so he came back again. And then he started telling me the stuff that this person told him. Blah, 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 blah. They know where we live. They know that you're my wife. They know your name. La, 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 la. And I'm like, do you know that every one of us now, because of technology, if you Google your name, it's going to show up there. You know what I mean? So maybe they got our information, from that. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm not worried. And then so he walks away again because I'm all, let me sleep. As soon as I wake up, I'll take care of it. So he walks away, and then before he left for the shop, here he comes again in the bedroom. He's like saying, "Well, they said that they're gonna serve me, and they even asked our address at the mail or whatever the person that's
Mm-hmm.
coming is da. And I said, okay, what law office is it? And then Mike told me what law office it was. I forget what it was now. It's on the paper or something because I wrote it down. And then so Mike told me what it was, and I said, okay. And then what else did they say? Because at this point I'm like fully awake now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, listen, my kids are off to college. I don't have to wake up. I don't have to do swim practice. I don't have any of that stuff anymore. You are waking me up, honey. And you didn't even bring me coffee in bed. Come on, honey. Come on.
He was like panicking or something. You know what I mean? At
Oh
this
my
point, I'm like, I wanted to sleep in. I can't anymore.
It's 5 a.m. Bring me some coffee. You're going to wake me up out of my sleep. I need my beauty sleep.
So anyway, continuing with the story. So I'm like, okay, so what law office and what did they say? Well, they said this and this and that, and then that they're going to serve me. They're suing me. So when you sue, here's the thing, folks. When you sue someone, you need to serve them. Obviously, you're gonna pay a third party. This is the process. This is a process for everyone who wants to sue someone. You file the lawsuit, and then from there, whoever you're suing, they're going to be served. So that's like a third party, okay? And you can't serve the person yourself. It's gonna have to be an outside company or an outside person that actually does this for a living to do it. So
Mhm.
anyway, so he's saying that, oh, they're gonna serve me, like in a few days or blah 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 blah. And I said, oh really? I said, did you give our address? He said no. I said, thank gosh you didn't give our address because whatever you do, you receive something. Even if they said that they're coming after you, you do not give your address to anyone that you don't know.
No.
You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
Even if they say, hey, you used to live at so and so and so, this is the tactics, folks. Social engineering. They caught you off guard. What, 4 a.m., 5 a.m.? Mike receives a call, totally unexpected, someone on the other line telling him you owe money and you're getting sued, and they're going after him, da 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 da. And dropping names, my name, that he's married to me and that we used to live at so and so address. So when you are like getting that information all at once, obviously you're like being bombarded with all this information. You'll be like, you're getting overwhelmed, and then you can't
Absolutely.
even think straight. You know what I mean? And so once I got all the information, I said, don't worry, it's nothing. He said, well, you're gonna take care of it? I said, I'm gonna take care of it. It's nothing. And then he said, Mary, I think this is real. I'm like, what do you mean? Because I was telling Mike, I was trying to convince him that it's a fraud. They are
Right.
scammers. You know what I mean? And the fact that I know that they have become so sophisticated that they're even using the law, or attorney's office to
Mhm.
kind of like make it believable. You know what I mean? To manipulate people. And then so I said, yeah, I'll do it. So I wasn't even gonna call because I'm like, you know what? I know they're scammers. I'm not gonna, like spend my time and give them the time of the day. But then as I was like doing my cardio, I went to the gym, did 30 minutes cardio, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should give them a call because you know what? I wanna F with them.
Mm, mm. Oh,
I don't want to say the word. I
that's
want
what
to
we
F
all
with
do.
them. See if they are really real. You know what I mean? So let me see, because not only that, because what, Katie?
No,
Can you say it
I'm
again?
just laughing. I'm just laughing because I would do the same thing. That's my mindset. Okay.
Because it's a little bit of, my personality to mess with people, right? So I'm like, I want to F with them, and then I'm also thinking that, I want to give my husband a peace of mind that these are scammers, if they are really scammers. But of course, I have a feeling that they were at the time. So I was like, okay, let me just call them. So I called him. The front desk office person answered the phone. He's a gentleman, talking to him. And then he said, well, what's your ID? He was asking for ID. So Mike gave me the ID, because that's how they'll find your file. So finally I gave it to him and I said, what is this about? Why are you guys calling my husband? I said, oh, he's going to be served because he owes money. He didn't pay it. And I said, he owes you guys money. From when? Tell me the year. Oh, years and years and years. He didn't pay his bills. Dot. And I said, okay. And then how much? $3,000. I said, oh, okay. Well, if you can tell me the date and who it is that he owes, then I can probably help you. And then he said, no, don't worry. Wait. Someone's gonna come and you guys are gonna be served. And I said, really? Okay. So what address do you have there? And then he was like, and then I said, where am I going to receive this? Because the address that they have in file, or the one that they were telling Mike, was an old address. Obviously, they probably doesn't know the new address. So I said, what address is this again? And then he's like, well, you not need to worry about it. He's just going to come. And then, so long story short, we're going back and forth. And the more I talk to him, the more I sense that these are the scammers. You know what I mean? Then the fact that while he's talking, I'm paying attention what's in his surrounding, and I can hear people talking in the background. Like 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 a call center, or like a telemarketing kind of like environment. You know what I mean? Because you can hear other people's conversation, and I think the guy doesn't realize that. I don't know if it's not. Then he's like ding dong. You know what I mean? So that's when I'm like, oh, okay, let me ask certain questions, that. And I said, this is not right. You guys are playing with people's emotion. You guys really got my husband worried. What happens if you have a heart attack or a stroke because you're getting him worried that you guys are going to serve him for money that he doesn't owe? Or you guys claiming he owes money, but you can't tell me any details of it? I mean, really? If I'm going to pay you guys, I need to know the details. You know what I mean? You're not going to get my money just like that. And then so he got pissed off and he started giving me attitude. He said, well, this and this and that. He started throwing some legal stuff, Katie, to me. Luckily, I know legal stuff too. I don't remember exactly what it is anymore. But then that's when I was like rebuttaling his argument. And then from there, he got so pissed off. And, I'm so calm and collected because at that point, I knew that,
He's a
let's
scammer.
just, yeah, this guy is a P, prick. So let me just like mess with him now, really fully, and I can tell he's getting annoyed. So to a point that he hung up the phone on me. So when he hung up the phone on me, then I'm like, whoa, okay, that solidify it that this is not a legitimate law office, because a law office will not hang up a phone on you.
No, they won't. Mm-mm.
You
Nope.
know, they wouldn't do that, because for one, they have to be professional. Second, they're trying to get your money, right? And then third, if it's a legitimate law office, they want to help you. Yes, they want to collect money if it's legitimate, but they want to help you. They're gonna give you information as to why you owe them money and what it is the money is for.
Right.
But because they didn't want to release any detail like that, I was like, oh, these are fraudster. And then ever since then, it was like, I think it's been quiet. I think Mike told me he called again one time after that, and then from then on, then Mike started messing around with him or them, because probably it's different people every time they called Mike, right? And then from then on, they just like stopped calling Mike, or Mike just stopped answering. Because I told Mike, don't even entertain them anymore.
Yep.
We have a business to run, okay? It's enough
That-
to run a company, and then to mess with these people and get you totally out of what do you call this? Out of concentration, on that day. It's like
Hide
bananas.
yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And you guys are you're our, you hold our, web and everything else. And by the way, they do a phenomenal job. If you guys need any, web assistance or host it, with your website, reach out to them, because we love our website. But how do you know
Thank
these
you.
people aren't saying, hey, calling you and saying, oh, by the way, you owe Top Flight, such and such amount of dollars for a repair, and they might say, okay, and follow through and give these people the money. And then they call us back and say, oh, well, you never did a service. And we're like, I don't have a record of estimate. I don't have a record of anything. Like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Now these people are coming after your business
Hmm. Yeah.
and money. And you're saying, no, I didn't take your money. They're saying, yes, you did take your money. And now you have to get, more layers involved. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, exactly. So what do how can you control that? Because that's your business that now is being compromised. So
Yeah.
did I lose you?
I think I lost you because you're still talking, and then I can't hear anything anymore.
I was
Now
just
here's the thing, folks. Okay, and this is where we need to be careful because we deal with customers, right? We deal with insurance claim.
yes.
So I'm just gonna throw it out there because we're in this topic anyway. So here's the thing: when you guys have a customer that you, let's say, started the process as far as filing the claim, with the insurance company, and then the insurance company send you money, it's it's really, really in our best interest to like research to see if we end up doing the customer, because this happened to us recently actually.
Oh
But
no.
because of what I know about law, that the insurance company called us and say, hey, you haven't cashed the check yet. It's almost 6 months. It's supposed to expire in 180 days. And so I think I might have seen that too, that check. But because I know for a fact that I didn't do the customer, I can't cash that check because the minute it, here's the thing, folks. Maybe it could be an innocent thing. You're not paying attention. You end up cashing it, depositing it in your bank, like your business account. If you deposited that, if it's an honest mistake, that's fine. But they can argue that it's insurance fraud. So I was really careful. So when I received the call, I said, you know what? Hold on. She caught me off guard, by the way. And then I said, you know what? Hold on. Let me call you back. Let me get your information. I need to research if we actually did the customer, the insured person, just to make sure that we did the repair. Because if we didn't, then I'm not going to cash the check. You know what I mean? I don't want someone to go after me for insurance fraud. That's a big thing. And you don't want to mess around with that kind of stuff, especially big insurance company. They have all the resources to make it like your your life a living hell or
Uh-huh.
something.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it turns out that we weren't able to fix the car, and so we didn't do the customer. But somehow, maybe nobody notified the insurance company that there's no repair. I think maybe what happened was that maybe the customer just decided to get it repaired and pay it out of pocket rather than going through insurance and having his or her insurance go up, because they have no recollection that it got repaired. The whole time they were thinking that we were the body shop that's going to repair the car. So yeah, that's why I keep a good track of all my customers on QuickBooks, so that I can always just go back even 2 years or 3 years or maybe 5, 10 years from now, as long as I have the file still in the system.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's crazy because, especially being a business owner, and the things in our business, step one, we take an estimate, and that estimate, goes into mobile tech.
Hmm.
And then all of a sudden now we're getting a phone call from this customer saying, hey, you know you charged us so and so amount. And I'm like, not on my schedule, we never. And now they're, our business is now we're having to go through that. It's just
Hmm.
scammers are attacking in every direction. So it's and the one thing I've started doing is now, if you can pay through PayPal, through some of these websites that I like to buy from,
Hmm.
I will pay through PayPal. So it's coming out of PayPal and they can't even directly get my banking details,
Hmm.
just to have that layer of protection. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, today I got a text, Katie. It's it's funny because today I got a text and saying that, hey, by the way, someone's trying to take money out of your PayPal, and then I'm like thinking, I have a PayPal account, but I don't have any money in it because I
Mhm.
don't use it that much. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, this is like basically they're sending out just text to everyone. This is via text, by the way. You know what I mean? They're sending text to just everyone, like mass text to everyone, and whoever bites into that, like whatever that is, that scam. It's like, you know what I mean? But that's why I was like, luckily I know that, hey, I don't use PayPal that much personally, and I don't have any money, so I don't know what you're talking about. So right there and there, I knew that that was a scam.
Mhm.
It's like bananas now.
It is. It is. It absolutely is. It's and there it's that they'll I feel that yes, they're going after the older generation much more, but now because they've gotten so clever, they're
Hmm.
coming to, the generation like our generation.
Target anyone,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. I mean, they could even target my 11-year-old, and she has an Apple Watch.
Hmm.
We've not gotten her the cell phone yet. And she's like, "Mom, I got a random call." I'm like, "Don't answer it."
Don't answer it.
Yep.
Yes.
No, if they're not stored in your um
Contact.
don't answer it. So,
Yeah.
mm,
I think the best thing to do is educate, educating our loved ones. You know what I mean?
oh,
Our kids, our our parents, grandparents. Yeah, that's the best thing to do. That's how you beat them scammers. You know what I mean? It's
mm,
educating them.
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm 100% right there. And it's going to keep happening, and
Hmm.
have to protect our business. We own businesses, and now we have to protect our business.
Hmm.
And that's an even, cuz we thrive off our Google reviews. We thrive off, you know, the you did a great job. Um Here's what an extra tip or something.
Hmm.
And that person could be compromised, the next day from our business. And how can we be, do we have to say, oh, by the way, be careful if you get a phone call, it's not us, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do you protect your customers and your business?
Well, I I think, Katie, if you get any phone calls that they demand you to do action or they want you to do something, just say, let me get your information and I'll get back with you. Because so that way you can, it will give you some time, it's like stalling time, right? Like it will give you the time to research whether that phone call or that text or that email is legitimate. So we know for a fact that IRS is not going to call, they're not going to text. They usually what? They usually email us. Or no, they usually send us a letter.
Hmm.
They'll send us a letter all the time, you know what I mean?
Right.
Now if it's like a bank, it's by text, cuz it depends on what you decided to do, whether it's text or email. That's how they're going to send you the information. Um yeah, so for me, I think people should start thinking that, hey, I need to create some kind of a boundary and some kind of a good habit here. If I get like one of those calls or text or email saying that I need you to do something, so if they require you to do some action, you need to like, wait a minute, let me get your information. If it's a phone call, da 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 da, and I'll get back with you. So that way it will allow you to think and then call your bank. If they're pretending to be your bank, then call your bank to see if it's like a legitimate phone call or text or email. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah.
But some people don't, and I think that's the biggest thing is they need to stop take the time to do the research and
Hmm.
and not worry, oh my gosh, I have a late payment or whatever, you know, or I have whatever it may be. Let me do my research, and then if it truly is, I'll deal with it on that end. But they need to
Hmm.
not, oh wait, my credit's going to be compromised because I have a late payment. No, I'd rather have a lower credit score than to have to deal with, once they take all your money, trying to get it all back, and all cards and everything else.
So let me ask you something, okay? Because there's two different things here. You're saying credit. You're talking about credit card, right?
Right.
Okay. So as far I have a solution for that. As far as the credit cards, if people are, if what you're saying is that people might be worried about like, hey, there's a late fee because so and so and so, then I think what you need to do is, for those people who saying, hey, you have a late fee, I need money from you, or you're shutting down your account to get a new credit card because your account's been compromised. Now, folks, I think banks usually, if you talk to them and you talk to them nicely, they can like forgive. They'll probably like forgive like a late fee, one time late fee. I think you get one. Some banks they allow it like once a year. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
things happen, lives happen. So if you have a late fee, they can like allow you to kind of like eliminate that and not charge you like at least once a year. But if you don't know that, you can always just call your bank and ask, But I'm referring to more like a bank account or a check, like a bank account such as checking account and savings account. Some of the people that I've seen, that are, that got interviewed, they said that they got compromised because they were talked into transferring the funds from their checking account to another account that they don't know that it was actually the scammer's account. They thought it was going to like a secure account
Wow.
that's coming from the bank. Well, it turns out it's not. Now, here's the thing. Some of these people that was interviewed, they said, well, after they realized what was going on, then they went straight to the bank and they were like kind of like soliciting the bank to help them, their own bank. But the bank, here's the thing, folks, the bank can help you once the money left your account. And the
Wow.
fact that you were the one who transferred the money, and you know what I mean, so they can't reverse it. And once it's in the process, those bank wire transfer,
Hmm.
once it's in the process, sometimes you can't reverse it if it has like a certain time already, you know what I mean. Yeah, so that's why you got to be careful, because I think what's probably happening are like people are calling someone and say, "Hey, maybe you need to transfer your money to this account." And then this account, by the way, is our like fraud department account. It's going to be safe, and that's how they sold it to to the victims, you know what I mean? It's
Hmm.
going to be safe. We just want it to be in the safe place. But right there and there, when I was listening to it, it didn't make sense. Why would you take your money from a bank that's already safe? Because banks usually have like protocols to keep your money to be safe, right? Why would you take that out and put it somewhere that you don't know really if it's safe or not, because you don't know where that thing's coming from or where it is, you know what I mean? So bank wouldn't do that. So even though, as bizarre as it sounds, people got really taken advantage on. Like I said, some of them are like from 3,000 to 800,000. Katie, I mean, it's like that's a lot of money. That's their like whole savings,
Yeah.
probably their whole retirement.
Hmm.
And
Or
they're
or their or they know how much their pension is. Hey, we need you to put wire your pension to this account, and that's their bills to pay to live on.
they don't have it. Yeah. Once your money gets stolen, then you don't have any money to pay your bills.
And then you fall behind, and you're trying to play catch up and trying to get it back, and it's not an easy process.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. So folks, we're just here to kind of like sorry, Katie, we didn't hear you.
Oh no, I didn't say anything. I was listening to you.
Oh, okay. So we're just here, folks, kind of like create awareness here. So that way, what?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, so that way people will think twice before they do things, really.
Mhm.
Um, okay. Anything that you want to add? I'm
There is
gonna do another podcast. I don't know if you want to come on, and this time it's gonna be about kids, like kids that are going to college, because we talked about that. You want to like share some of those ideas?
now what one other thing I am going to ask, what's going on with your skincare line? Where are we there?
Oh, okay.
Girl,
I
I'm
okay.
I
So
want my hands on it.
okay, so finally, my other girlfriend was kind of like, telling me, Mary, I need more moisturizer. And so you know what I ended up doing, because I told her I'm like, observing first, I'm still doing observation, see, that I know it's gonna work because it's got a little bit of ingredients of what I was using in the past already, and then we just added more. And
Mhm.
then the manufacturer, who are also in the skincare business, they added more that they suggested to me as far as the ingredients that would help our skin. So anyway, so I just didn't know how long I'm supposed to like observe. So when I asked my lady, she said, Mary, some people they do it like, a week, 2 weeks. Sometimes there's like people that will take a year. And then so that's when I realized that, hey, there's really no time frame. It's just whenever I'm ready. So I think I'm ready. So I finalized it with them. I have to like sign the paperwork saying that, hey, move forward with the whole thing. And then I think, I don't know, from there, probably like a good month, maybe
Mhm.
2 weeks or a month. I have to follow up. I received her email today and I just haven't had time to get back to her. But in the meantime, I have another girlfriend who lives close to me. I gave her like a sample. I gave her a bottle. She went through it. She loved it. And she said, I'm out. You need to order more. And I said, I can't order more because it's not in progress yet. It's still in the, uh, discovery process here, like whether I need to make a change or not. But then that's when she said, well, do you have more of your own? And I said, I have a little leftover. So I gave it to her. I gave the bottle that I was using and I gave it to her. And then she's using that. And so that's when I said, okay, I think I just need to move forward now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you know what she likes about it?
What?
She said, Mary, I can never go back anymore. And I told her this, because I put some thought into it before it was made. I told my manufacturer, my skincare manufacturer, I said, look, what I want is something that's like a gel kind of feeling. And then I want something that when you apply it, that it doesn't take a long time for the whole thing to dry and go away. But then at the same time makes your face smooth, and
Mhm.
then it's supposed to work. And so she said, Mary, I can't ever go back. I think she was using another moisturizer, the one that she bought like over the counter or something like that. And then she told me after she used my moisturizer, she said she can never go back. She said it felt, the one that she was using before my product, it's like felt different. So I said, well, that's good. So it's coming soon.
I need
Don't worry, it's coming soon. Yeah.
I know I want to get my hands on it. I'm excited.
Oh, cool. And in the meantime, I just finished doing all the legality of it. Huh?
I didn't say anything. No, I'm
Oh,
listening.
okay. The legality of starting the business, like LLCing it and applying for other documents, that. So, yeah.
That's so because I love skincare and makeup, so I am so excited.
Really?
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, do you
Right.
do you
Right.
do
Aha,
you
because of the hurricane, but
do
yes.
you like also putting makeup on? I'm
I
like,
it.
yes.
I okay, on this my daughter is was homeschooled from first grade to fourth grade, and we've now sent her to a private
Oh,
school.
oh, private school. Okay.
Yeah. And she has started doing her makeup, and she'll still do her mascara, and um she'll put her eyeshadow on and her lip gloss. And one of her little friends said mascara makes your eyelashes shrink. And I was I'm like, Ella, honey, no, they don't. I stay long. You're fine. And you just keep doing you. But I wasn't gonna tell her not to do it because she wanted to explore this option. And, if you tell your kids, obviously, within reason, you're gonna tell your kids not to do something. But
Yeah.
I don't want her going to school and doing it behind my back. So I'm like, okay, if you want to do this little step, go for it.
Yeah. Tell
Mm,
her to follow me on my TikTok. I do makeup stuff, or
I
Instagram.
She is not on social media yet.
Oh, she's not on social media. Okay.
No, I have kept it away from her. And then I just told you I did the little Facebook social media break.
Mhm.
I still have TikTok and I still have Instagram.
Okay.
I wanted to try the I have the Facebook for the business, but I don't have it for my personal.
Your personal one.
hmm
Okay.
And it's honestly, I'll tell you what, it's been a more positive to wake up in the morning and reach for the phone, because that's the first thing people go to now is to social
Uh-huh.
media. I'm
Mhm.
going to reach for the phone to shut my alarm off and go make my coffee and do all the other things and then look at social media. And honestly, that extra step to do something positive has been amazing.
That's good. So
hmm
you're you're taking a step to basically having control of your life. Like for me, when I wake up, I don't like look at the phone right away. I look at the phone because people are trying to get a hold of me because we're running a business. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So lately, if I like don't have time to open my Facebook or my Instagram, as a matter of fact, ever since we started traveling a lot, like the past few months, I haven't like created any content for my makeup thing. And I did recently, but I haven't edited it yet because I've been so busy trying to like do this other stuff. So I got to get back on the routine here.
hmm
Yeah, I don't social media to me seriously. It's like I convince myself and talk to myself. Okay, you're just gonna look anything that's like nonsense. Don't even like spend time on it. It's just like I just like keep it because we need it for the business and then for something else. You know what I mean?
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. It's totally different being on there for the business versus being on there and seeing, oh,
Mhm.
your friend did this or they did that or
Mhm.
whatever. So I've been I've actually enjoyed it. And then, you know, we we've had to learn to use it, but I love the Check It app for the business, because if I do need something, it's not going through social media, it's going through that app, and they can, get a hold of us and I don't even have to look at social media. So
Mhm.
mhm.
Yeah.
So a lot of positive, but Ella and I will definitely be looking at your TikTok videos. So
The last one that I created, I think I was trying out this new light that I got from Japan,
hmm
and I don't think it's like I don't think it's strong enough that it's supposed to do what it's supposed to do, because
yeah.
it didn't do what I bought it for. So I
Oh,
might go back to my old lights.
hmm
But anyway, we'll see. And I have yet to edit my content. And here's the thing about social media. When you guys have social media, if you're not on it all the time, it's not good for the algorithm. Then you start losing followers. Like I had like 1,300 followers, and
hmm
then I think after maybe not being on it for a while, I lost probably like 300.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm like, and then it's hard to gain them because the algorithm basically, pick it up. And the way it works is the more you use it, the better for the algorithm. I'm actually, folks, before we end this, I'm actually going to be covering some of this stuff at MTE. So to understand how the social media works, because if you don't understand, then you don't know what to do, right? But if you understand it, then it can work for you. You
hmm
can control the whole thing without having to be stressing out about like, hey, I'm wasting time and stuff like that. Yeah. So we're gonna be doing Mike and I are gonna be speaking again for MTE next year. So stay tuned. I'm gonna make more announcement. It's just that I always forget when I'm on live show here.
Well, I can't wait. I will attend Education Day next.
You better.
I We had a little, last year or this past year was not our my best MT. We'll leave it at that.
Mhm.
People that don't know, my dad
Uh-huh.
passed away, and my husband I got home from Maryland, and Dave was getting in the car the next day to go to MT, and he's like, "You need to go," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to be around people." So I kind of went and
And
spent.
then you met me.
I did.
And then you said, "Oh, Mary's not that intimidating after all."
I've talked to Mary on the phone once or twice about our website, and I'm like, no, yeah, and I was like, oh, I love her. And then I got to hang out with you, obviously, in Mexico, and I'm like, oh, we need to, yes, this is my girl. She's an
Well,
inspiration, role model, everything. So,
oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, definitely we're going to see each other in Florida then.
yes, we will.
Okay. So, next podcast, we're going to talk about kids, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on, Katie. Don't
No,
forget to follow us.
yes.
Where can people follow you guys?
You can follow us at Top Flight PDR. We're on our Facebook and everything else. So yep, that's where I'll be.
Okay, and then you can follow me here at Mary Unapologetic as well as PDR Interview, folks.
Yep.
We're saying goodbye.
Bye.